What's up, guys? Rip Trippers back at you today with another review. I've got a review on an RDA. This RDA I purchased from a company called v-apes.com. I've actually purchased two other products from them. Fantastic customer service. The RDA that I'm going to be reviewing today is the Trident. The Trident is actually manufactured by a company called Grand Vapor. Grand Vapor produces some outstanding products, high quality in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and break this down just like I do in every other review. I'm going to review it to the best of my ability and give you my thoughts, what I think about it. It comes in three individual parts. You got your base with the coil deck, you got your barrel, and you got your top airflow system. The base, first off, the connector's copper. You get 3 posts on the deck. You can do a single coil, you can do a dual coil, you can even do a quad coil, even though the quad coil might be a little difficult. I've just stuck to the single coil and the dual coil. And what makes this a really easy setup, well, easier than most, is the fact that it's got these screws that are threaded in the inside, and they screw onto the posts which are threaded on the outside, and that's how you make your connection. There's slots in the middle of these posts. Here's one of the negative connections. You can see how there's a slot there, right? Once you insert your Kanthal wire into that slot, you just screw your threaded nut on there and it makes a connection with the Kanthal, and that's how it works. Pretty brilliant. On top of that, you got these fat dual O-rings. Just beautiful. Just a beautiful deck. You got this barrel, and on the barrel, as you can see, there's the Grand Vapor logo. Simple, beautiful. There's 2 holes on this barrel, one on this side and then one on the other. And then this piece right here is the top. And this is where your airflow control comes in, is these 2 pieces. This fits on this piece. Okay, so once this piece goes on to here, basically how this works is you got 1 hole on this side, just like I mentioned, 1 hole on this side, and you turn the top to adjust to your preferred airflow. In order to get this out of the barrel, you have to use your drip tip. The drip tip I'm using is just an old drip tip I bought from Volcano E6, a stainless steel straight drip tip. It's worked. Hold it at an angle and I pull it out. That's really the only way that I've been able to get it out. Over time, these rings have kind of loosened up, broken in, but when I first got it, it was a bitch to get this thing together and to get this thing apart, because these things are fat, man. Fat O-rings. Okay, but basically, to go into more detail with this airflow control, you got 1mm, which is that small itty bitty one. You got 1.5mm. You got a dual 2mm, a single 2mm, and a single 2.5mm. Okay, so there's only one dual coil size, and that's the dual coil 2mm. Today I'm going to be using the Trident on a Pravari. I've got a micro coil. It's set to around 1.5 ohms, single micro coil. I'm going to be using cotton like I have been for the past month. So I got my wick all set up in this micro coil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this barrel and I'm going to align one of the holes where the side of the coil is. When you put it on the O-rings like this, you just got to wiggle it. It's good to lube these O-rings up a little bit before you place the barrel on here on the bottom section. And the top we'll talk about in a minute. With the top, you just pick the air hole that you prefer and you line it up with the air hole over the wick. Okay, so in this case, I'm doing single. So I'm going to do the 2mm single. So I'm just going to line it up. Okay, and I got it lined up there. Now, if I want to adjust the airflow, all I got to do is you want to make sure your drip tip's out of this device before you adjust the airflow. You just adjust the top. So let's see if I can get this on camera. See how it's Boom. Now I'm at 2.5. Okay? Keep going. That's the largest setting. I'm sorry. That's 2.5. The last one was 2. 2 dual, and the one before that was 2 single. Keep going. Okay. That's a small setting. Look how small that is. That's 1 millimeter. Tiny. I don't even know how people vape like that, to be honest with you. Crazy. All right. That's 1.5, and then should be one more. That's 2 right there. So there's 2 on this side, and then it's blocked off on this side. I'm going to insert my drip tip. I'm going to vape it. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the pros. I'm going to talk about the cons. Got this set to, it's a 1.6 ohm micro coil. And I got it set to 4.4 volts. This thing chucks the vapor. Getting great flavor. Getting off subject. With this micro coil I have, 1.6 ohms, 1.5 ohms, 1.4 ohms on a Provari or any variable wattage device. I think that this is the direction that vaping is going. Personally, flavor off of a micro coil is just outstanding. I think that the age of sub-ohms is kind of going to die out. But I may be wrong. I still love to sub-ohm, but with a micro coil, I find that 1.4 to 1.8 is my sweet spot. Preferably 1.4, you know, 1.5, 1.6. And the flavor on this is just rocking and rolling. Vapor, throated, everything. I'm getting better flavor than I ever have vaping anything else. So yeah, this Trident is no joke. I mean, look at it. It's solid. This is the most solid rebuildable atomizer that I've ever owned, I've ever vaped on. It's a real thick build. You get a lot of these devices that are used with the same materials, like 304 or 303 stainless, but the metal on this device is thicker, it's chunkier. The O-rings are the chunkiest O-rings I've ever seen on a rebuildable dripper device. And the airflow control is great. It's one of a kind. The 3 posts on the deck that allow you to have those slots instead of having to wrap it around and screw it down makes it a lot easier. This thing hits hard, and it hits hard because of the copper. That's where, you know, it gets that edge, is the copper contact. I mean, it hits. I gotta take another hit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just love it, man. Grand Vapor. And the products they produce are top notch. This is up there. So those are the pros. The cons. O-rings on this. The O-rings on this can be a pain in the ass. When you first get this, you're gonna have to break in those O-rings. Everything fits together so tight it almost doesn't fit together. You just gotta break her in, and once you break her in, you're good to go. But if you have like arthritis, or you have weaker hands, this may not be the device for you. Next con, The airflow control, while this is a brilliant idea, it can be really hard for someone who has weaker fingers, weaker hands. And when you first get it, it was really hard turning this thing. And a word to the wise, with this top section, never lube those O-rings up top before you put it on. I did that, major mistake. It sealed it off. The pressure caused it to where I couldn't twist it. I couldn't even get it off. I had to pry it off with something, and it took me like an hour just to get the top part off. So don't lube the top O-rings up, okay? It's a good thing to lube the bottom O-rings though. While the airflow control is brilliant, it can be hard to twist this if these O-rings aren't broken in. Next thing, they only offer one hole size for the dual coil capabilities. And because of that, I don't vape dual coil on this device unless I'm running like a 0.2 or 0.3 ohm, coil. And I really don't like doing that because the dual air system is an area draw. While I like it, I couldn't vape like that all day. I wish they offered more options like the Helios, but unfortunately they don't. So I just stick with the 1.5 to 2 millimeter air draw single coil, and I get a great hit. It's fantastic. I mean, it was $110 from V-Apes. It may be a little steep. I don't mind it because V-Apes, their customer service makes up for it. And I think that the customer service is a big part of it. Plus, it's a high quality device, and it's going to last a long time. Yeah, this thing chucks it. This is probably the hardest hitting RDA that I've ever used. This is Rip Trippers. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to comment below. And remember, smoking is dead. Vaping is the future. And the future is now. You guys have a great night.